Archangel Michael says, "Something you said has cracked the silence in someone's heart. It was just a few words, but those words have replayed in their mind like a haunting echo. They cannot sleep, not because they're angry, but because your voice won't stop ringing. That moment has become their night's soundtrack. They keep staring at their ceiling, heart racing, emotions tumbling, unable to silence the storm inside. Your words were not loud, but their truth was deafening. They thought they could handle it. They thought walking away or staying silent would protect them. But now, those few seconds of conversation keep them awake until the early hours. They are restless, tossing between regret and realization. What you said wasn't cruel, it was necessary. Still, it shook something they never wanted to face. Type Amen to get blessing 333. They're haunted by what they didn't say back. They replay that moment and wonder if they should have stopped you, held your hand, or said what their heart really meant. But fear gripped them, and now it's too late for rewinds. Every night, they check their phone, hoping to see your name. They consider typing something, anything, but stop themselves because they don't know where to start. The silence they chose is now the prison they sleep inside. They whisper your name under their breath like it's a chant that could fix things. The bed feels colder. The pillow holds more tears than sleep now. They've tried to distract themselves, music, social media, meaningless conversations, but nothing silences the weight of what you said. You spoke your truth, and now it follows them like a ghost. Type Amen to get blessing 719. They didn't know words could feel like medicine and fire at the same time. They now realize your voice was a mirror, showing them what they refused to see. And what burns the most is that you didn't speak to hurt them, you spoke to free yourself. They never thought you'd be the one to walk away. They underestimated the strength in your quiet. Now, their nights are long and filled with could-haves. Sleep used to be their escape. Now, it's their punishment. Because every time they close their eyes, they see your face right before you said it. They wanted you to chase them. But instead, you stood in your power. And now they're left wondering what it feels like to be on the other side of losing someone who actually mattered. Type Amen to get blessing 822. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks, with contributions of up to $20. They hear your voice in everything. In songs, in silence, in places you used to sit. They thought time would heal it, but time has only sharpened the sting. You said it so calmly, so gently, but it hit them like thunder. No scream, no cry, just clarity. That's what broke them. They can't sleep because they finally understand. Understand that you saw through them. Understand that you meant every word. They pretend during the day. Laugh, work, talk. But at night, they crumble, and it's all because of the words you left behind. Type Amen to get blessing 540. They've read over old texts, trying to find signs they missed. Searching for a clue that maybe you were slipping away before you said it. But now, every message feels like a goodbye that was written in slow motion. You shook them awake. Your honesty was the lightning strike in their fog. And now, they're wide awake, not just physically, but spiritually. They're not just missing you, they're missing who they were when they were with you. Your presence made them better, even when they didn't know it. Now they feel like half a soul walking in circles. The silence in their room grows louder every night. They lay down, but peace doesn't come. Only the memory of what you said. Type Amen to get blessing 605. Archangel Michael says, this person didn't think your words would affect them. They thought they were strong enough to ignore them. But now those words have become the lullaby they can't stop hearing. They've deleted your photos but kept the pain. Because even in your absence, your words hold weight. They echo in the places where they once felt peace. Their pride built a wall, but your words cracked it. They thought silence would protect them. But silence, mixed with regret, is now the reason for their sleepless nights. They miss you, even if they'll never say it. They miss the version of themselves that smiled more when you were near. Type Amen to get blessing 464. They have started avoiding mirrors. Because they see someone they no longer recognize, someone lost, someone unsure, someone empty. You awakened a truth they buried. Now, that truth doesn't let them rest. It taps on their shoulder at midnight. It whispers reminders of what they lost. Even their dreams betray them. They see you there, smiling, forgiving. But they wake up, and you're still gone. The bed hasn't moved. The room is still the same. But everything feels different now, because you aren't in it, not even in spirit. Type Amen to get blessing 988. They used to think sleep was easy. Now, it feels like punishment. Every night is a war between their heart and their ego. They tell people they're fine. They laugh in conversations. But inside, they're breaking. Your voice echoes in their quietest moments. You said what needed to be said. And now they're finally hearing it, too late to stop the ache. They can't escape it. Not with sleep. Not with distractions. Your truth is the one thing they can't run from anymore. Type Amen to get blessing 106. They remember the exact tone you used. The way your eyes didn't blink. The way you stood tall in your decision. You were done. Not out of anger, but out of exhaustion. And that's what made it real. Now they replay it. Not just the moment, but the meaning. And they realize they were never ready for someone as real as you. Sleep isn't coming. Because peace doesn't visit the ones who let go of what was sent to heal them. Type Amen to get blessing 847. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks, with contributions of up to $20. They scroll through memories. Places you went. Pictures that once held smiles now look like shadows. They stare at their phone. Wanting to reach out. But how do you message someone after you've finally heard the words that ended everything? They try to numb it, food, friends, noise. But it always returns. The truth you spoke has settled in their bones. Every sleepless night reminds them, you didn't leave to hurt them. You left because staying meant losing yourself. Type Amen to get blessing 931. They keep wondering what would have happened if they had stopped you. If they had said something, anything, to make you stay. But they didn't. And now silence has become their punishment. You weren't loud when you said it. That's what makes it harder. You spoke with calmness, and it made the truth sharper. They want to forget it. But forgetting you would mean forgetting the only person who saw them for real. They didn't realize how rare that was, until they lost it. They lie awake every night with the words stuck in their chest like 1,000 pins. You didn't scream. You didn't plead. You simply left them with the truth. Type Amen to get blessing 1000. Every night since then, the memory grows more vivid. They hear your words like a song they can't turn off. It plays softly, but painfully, in the background of everything they do. You said it once, but they've heard it 1,000 times. Their own mind won't let them rest. Because they know now, you meant it. And what they wouldn't give to rewind time. To go back. To undo the choices that made you say it in the first place. They try to write their own version of that moment, one where you stayed. But no matter how many times they try, it always ends the same way, with your back turned and their heart breaking. Type Amen to get blessing 1111. They thought you'd return. They believed you'd change your mind. But instead, every day feels more final. The hardest part isn't that you're gone. The hardest part is knowing you left because they didn't listen when you were still there. You were soft before you were strong. You gave chances before you gave closure. They didn't notice the shift until it was too late. Now, even the moon feels like it misses you. The quiet is heavier. The air is thicker. Nothing feels whole anymore. Type Amen to get blessing 1232. Archangel Michael says, you didn't break them. You woke them up. And that awakening is what keeps them wide-eyed in the dark. They remember how your voice didn't tremble. That power, it was both heartbreaking and holy. You finally chose yourself. They never imagined you'd be the one who'd walk away with grace. But you did. And now they're the one trying to chase peace in a bed that no longer feels warm. Every sleepless night is a lesson. Every hour they stare at the ceiling is a reminder that they were loved by someone rare, and they let it go. Type Amen to get blessing 1344. They've lost track of time. Days blend into nights. The world moves forward, but they're stuck in the moment your words shattered everything. They try to smile in photos. But the light in their eyes is gone. Because nothing glows when love walks away in silence. Your words still sit in the corners of the room. Like perfume, lingering. Like smoke after fire. They hold their breath every time they think of you. Wondering if they'll ever breathe easy again. Type Amen to get blessing 1421. They remember what you wore. The way your hands moved. Even the pause before you finally spoke. It wasn't the length of what you said, it was the truth in it. Raw. Piercing. Final. They thought they'd be fine. Thought they'd sleep it off. But peace doesn't visit those who lose people like you. Now, even rest feels like betrayal. Because sleeping means accepting. And they're not ready to let go. Type Amen to get blessing 1517. They've created fake conversations in their head. Trying to say all the things they should have said. But imaginary apologies don't erase real pain. They light a candle, hoping you'll feel it. Hoping you'll dream of them the way they dream of you. But dreams aren't bridges, not anymore. They realize now what they truly lost. Not just love, but a safe place. You were that place. And now, even their home feels empty. Because home left when you did. Type Amen to get blessing 1640. They whisper your name like a confession. Like it might unlock some peace. But it never does. They reread messages. Ones where you gave them your softness. Ones where you still believed they were worth your time. Now they wonder how they couldn't see it. How they mistook your silence for indifference. When really, you were breaking and waiting for them to notice. You didn't stop loving them. You just stopped trying to convince them to love you back. Type Amen to get blessing 1709. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks, with contributions of up to $20. They stare at their phone every night. Waiting. Hoping. But your name doesn't flash anymore. You moved on, not out of spite, but out of survival. You chose healing. They chose silence. And now they live with it. They live in the echo of what you said, the last words that broke the cycle. Your voice became the line between who they were and who they wish they had been for you. Type Amen to get blessing 1828. They don't want to sleep. Not because they love the pain, but because sleep means facing dreams where you're still theirs. And waking up from those is the cruelest part. Your goodbye was quiet. But your absence is loud. It screams in their chest every night. They still sleep on one side of the bed. Just in case. But you're not coming back. And they know that now. They didn't think one moment could haunt them this long. But it has. And the haunting hasn't stopped. Type Amen to get blessing 1919. They've learned a lot since then. About regret. About timing. About how the wrong words at the right time can cost you everything. They miss the way you said their name. Like it mattered. Like they mattered. Now they call themselves in the mirror. Trying to feel something. But your voice isn't there to answer anymore. And sleep? It's become a stranger. One they chase, but never catch. Type Amen to get blessing 2000. They've stopped checking the clock. Night and day don't mean much anymore. Only the silence between your words and their memory remains. They thought they'd be stronger than this. That they could block it out, move on, bury it under laughter. But strength has nothing to do with forgetting someone who mattered that much. You didn't break them, you revealed them. You opened a door they spent years locking. And now, they're stuck inside it, pacing floors you once walked with grace. Every breath they take carries a question they never asked out loud. But now the answer is echoing in every room. You meant what you said, and they can't undo it. Type Amen to get blessing 2123. There's a chair no one sits in anymore. A song they skip every time. A perfume they avoid. Everything reminds them of what they lost because they didn't listen when it was soft. They want to erase the moment, rewind the night, unsay everything they failed to say. But reality doesn't work like that. Your words are stitched into time. They miss you in moments they didn't expect. A laugh in a crowd. A sentence they overhear. A smell in the air. It all circles back to the moment you walked away with dignity. They should have fought for you. They should have said something. But now, the only fight is with their own mind, and it never sleeps. Type Amen to get blessing 2288. Archangel Michael says, "You were sent into their life to be a mirror, not a mirror for vanity, but for their soul. And when you spoke your truth, you shattered the illusions they clung to. They cannot run from themselves anymore. Your silence since then is louder than any scream. It vibrates through their chest. Every hour of sleep missed is another hour spent longing for what can't be fixed with words anymore. They walk around pretending nothing's wrong. But their eyes are tired. Their hands are restless. Their soul is awake with remorse. The world feels heavier now. Because now, they know, you were light. And they let it leave." Type Amen to get blessing 2391. They look at others and try to compare. But no one else carries your presence. No one else looks at them like you did, with fire and forgiveness all in the same glance. They wonder how they didn't see the moment breaking until it had already shattered. You warned them. You gave hints. But they didn't pay attention until the silence screamed. Now their heartbeat matches the rhythm of regret. And the bed they sleep in is nothing but a memory machine. Even if they lay down early, sleep never stays. It only visits in pieces, wrapped in dreams of what could have been. Type Amen to get blessing 2466. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks, with contributions of up to $20. They find themselves whispering things to the dark. Apologies. Confessions. Things they should have said to you, now trapped in their throat. They try to rewrite the ending every night. But it always ends with your words. Still, calm, final, and so deeply true. They want to forget what you said. But the truth has a long memory. And it doesn't sleep, either. They now understand that some things don't break loud, they break slowly, silently, until there's nothing left but echoes. Type Amen to get blessing 2515. They never thought they'd miss the way you walked away. But now that you're gone, they replay even your exit like it was poetry. The way you held your dignity was the final message. They can't forget how your eyes looked when you said it. It wasn't anger. It was sadness. But behind that sadness was clarity, and that's what haunts them most. They took too long to understand. But now, they understand everything. Too late for answers. Too late for fixing. They sit awake wondering if you still think about them. But even that hope feels too selfish now. Type Amen to get blessing 2672. They've seen you in their dreams. Not smiling. Not sad. Just, gone. And they wake up gasping for breath. You spoke your truth, and it tore through their illusions like a blade. Not to wound them, but to free yourself. Still, it left a scar they now wear inside. They told themselves they'd be fine. But every sleepless night proves otherwise. Your truth didn't destroy them, it revealed their unfinished healing. And now they know. Losing someone who truly saw them is the kind of pain that doesn't heal with time alone. Type Amen to get blessing 2799. They replay your voice in quiet spaces. In their car. In the shower. When the world finally stops moving, you return like a ghost they didn't want to lose. You said it calmly. But the meaning hit like thunder. And now they can't sleep through the storm they never expected. They reach out mentally, energetically, hoping maybe you feel their pain across space and time. But your energy feels distant now, like a door closed by divine hands. They don't know how to live without your presence. But they're starting to learn how to suffer through it. One restless night at a time. Type Amen to get blessing 2917. They try to write you letters they'll never send. Pages filled with what-ifs and I'm sorries. They start and stop, not because they don't have words, but because words aren't enough anymore. They dream of seeing you again, of making it right. But deep down, they know, you're not looking back. You're moving forward, and they're stuck in a moment they caused. Even their reflection has changed. There's something hollow now. Like a lesson learned too late. And sleep is no longer peace. It's punishment. Because dreams don't bring you back, they just remind them you're gone. Type Amen to get blessing 3080. They wish you'd message them. Even if it's just to say you're okay. But your silence is sacred now. And they know they no longer have the right to interrupt it. You gave your heart, and they didn't guard it. You gave your trust, and they didn't cherish it. You gave your truth, and they didn't hear it, until it was too loud to ignore. They now lay awake with only one thing keeping them company, your last words. The ones they never expected would be the last. They tell themselves they'll be fine. But deep down, they know, some loves don't end. They just sleep in our shadows. Type Amen to get blessing 3194. They thought they'd forget. But some words never lose their sting. Yours still carries weight like it was spoken yesterday, etched into their mind, heavy on their chest. They try to function during the day, but every quiet moment reminds them of that final line. You didn't scream. You didn't break down. You just let go. It was your calm that shook them. The way you gave up not in rage, but in clarity. It told them everything they refused to believe until it was too late. Now they walk through life half asleep. Eyes open, but soul heavy. Because real regret doesn't come with noise, it comes with stillness. Type Amen to get blessing 3266. The night you said it, everything changed. They didn't realize it then. But now, with every passing day, they see how final it really was. They used to fall asleep easily. Now they count regrets instead of sheep. Every toss in the bed reminds them of the peace they traded for pride. There's no one else to blame. No one else who heard what you said and chose silence. They can't escape the truth anymore, they are the reason you left. They try to cover it with work. With busy hours. With half-healed distractions. But it only takes one still moment for it all to rush back in. Type Amen to get blessing 3345. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks, with contributions of up to $20. Archangel Michael says, you were not cruel. You were honest. And sometimes, honesty becomes the only path toward freedom. They thought they could live with your silence. But it's not silence anymore, it's a void. A deep, aching reminder of a voice they might never hear again. They don't tell anyone about the way they lie awake now. How they scroll at 2:13 a.m., hoping to find a post that feels like you. But nothing feels like you. They wonder if you sleep peacefully now. If you're free of the weight they never helped you carry. And somewhere in that wondering, they lose themselves again. Type Amen to get blessing 3466. They've stopped reaching for the other side of the bed. It's always cold now. It reminds them they're the reason it's empty. You gave them a version of love that didn't come with chains. It came with freedom, understanding, softness. But they mistook your softness for something they could postpone. Now every quiet second feels like it belongs to you. The silence is no longer empty, it's full of you, full of the echo of what you once said. They turn off the lights, hoping sleep will come. But your words flicker through their mind like lightning across the sky. Type Amen to get blessing 3521. They thought their ego would protect them. But ego doesn't warm cold sheets. Ego doesn't respond when your soul calls for someone who's already gone. You taught them what real love feels like. And now, nothing else comes close. No distraction, no substitute, no replacement can silence the truth you spoke. They go out with people who don't know your name. But their heart does. And it reminds them with every awkward laugh and empty glance. They wonder if you sleep better now. And even if you don't, they know, your pain has turned into power, while theirs has turned into insomnia. Type Amen to get blessing 3659. They've stopped praying for sleep. Now, they just pray for peace. Not even to get you back, just for the pain to let go of their ribs. You were the peace they didn't recognize. The love they didn't fight for. The truth they didn't honor when it was handed to them, trembling but full of fire. They speak your name in whispers now, like a spell. Afraid the world will hear and remind them that they're the reason you're gone. They say time heals. But some nights feel just like the first one. The night you finally said it, and meant it. Type Amen to get blessing 3733. There's a part of them that still believes you'll come back. Even though they know better. Even though your absence speaks louder than any goodbye. They hear your voice when they least expect it. In songs. In dreams. In places that used to be sacred. It's not that they don't sleep, it's that they can't. Not without carrying the weight of your last words on their chest. You taught them what goodbye really means. And now, every night is a lesson they never stopped learning. Type Amen to get blessing 3860. They lay awake thinking about the life you could have had together. Not a fantasy, but a real one. The one they now know they were too scared to live. They would trade anything to go back. But time doesn't reverse for regret. And your heart doesn't return once it's walked away in truth. Now, they just count the hours. Not to fall asleep, but to survive until sunrise. Because the night belongs to your memory now. And they know, it always will. Type Amen to get blessing 3999. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks, with contributions of up to $20.